For those of you who haven't met me before, my name's Ashley. I represent a small local business called Emotive Car Sourcing. Following on really from what Mark did about a month and a half ago, I thought it would be better to share my own personal story with you. As they say, people do business with people. So it all started back in 1962 in Southgate. And as you can see from the middle picture there, I was always destined to be a sort of Arthur Daly, I think. I have one brother, Paul, who is 2.5 years younger than me, but now looks so much older, thank God. I had a happy childhood with my parents. They were happy for me to follow my dreams, which really made my life choices that much easier. I attended Walker Primary School with Naomi, by the way. I then attended Latimer School in Edmonton. And then I went on to Southgate Technical College to do my sixth form. I did 3 years there studying automobile engineering. So that was the first part of following my dream. I loved cars, so I took a course in automobile engineering. I left college and I started working for a local privately owned business called British Car Auctions. And they were based in Enfield, and they were a privately owned business that had about 12 locations around the UK, formed by two brothers. When they left for war, at the end of the war, they had their mother's car to sell, and they put an advert in the local paper. They had 100 people who applied to the advert, so they decided to hold an auction for the vehicle in a field in Farnborough, and that was where they started their company. I joined it the best part of 30 years after it had been, 36 years after it had been formed, and it was already quite a large business. After about 8 or 9 months, I was getting a little bit frustrated, and I decided I needed to get away and travel, and I knew I'd regret it later on in my life if I didn't do it. So it was a matter of if not now, when. So I went to Israel, to a kibbutz for a year, and then traveled back overland, which was a wonderful experience. When I got back though, I thought, what can I do? So I worked for a little while for Midway Cabs. Yes, I was a mini cab driver. And then I also sold RAC membership. That's not me, by the way. I was one of those RAC guys who stands outside supermarkets and fuel stations. But, oh, sorry, I then decided to go back to BCA and was placed on a management training program. And that was in 1994. I took various training roles and worked there right up until 1994. I married my wife Lorraine in 1989, and now we both work together. She is in PR and has, together with Jeremy, helped us tell the Emotive story so far. We have 2 daughters, Georgia in the middle, who was working in the theatre and is now a teaching assistant until business resumes, and Izzy on the left, who has followed her dreams and is now working in Australia. I left BCA in 1994. I was headhunted by, at the time, the UK's largest dealer group, and became their group used car director. So I was responsible for the purchase of all their used car stock and the disposal of all the unwanted vehicles, and that was all done through auction. In 1997, I was enticed back to BCA. We were rebuilding the premises at Enfield, and they asked me to come back to manage that project and to manage the site. And I stayed there from 1997 through to April 2018 in various senior roles, both local and national, and saw the company go through several incarnations of private and public listings. In fact, 5 different times through my career. So in April 2018, I was offered the opportunity to leave the business, which I did. started playing a bit of golf. I probably played more golf that year than I'd ever played in all the years previous to that. And I also consulted with a few independent car auction businesses and various associations in connection with the motor trade and the auction business. My wife Lorraine and I also consulted with a car turntable company, a small Midlands-based engineering firm, where we were attempting to bring them into the 21st century. And unfortunately, we became very frustrated. They weren't prepared to change. They weren't prepared to move on. So in the middle of 2019, we parted company, and that's when Lorraine and I set up Emotive Car Sourcing. We set up in December with our business partner, Joe. Now, I've known Joe since my early days, early 20s, actually. We've been friends for most of that time. We both have the same focus of achieving a first-class customer experience in a relaxed, professional, uncomplicated, and unbiased way. We also, from the very beginning, wanted to make sure we gave back something, particularly to the environment. And to that end, we partnered with a company called Time for Trees, who plant woodlands in brownfield sites around the country. And we've also just about to plant 2 trees at the Noah's Ark Children's Hospice in Barnet in their sensory garden as a representation of our first year in business and the clients we've served. And Noah's Ark has a particular interest to us because my wife Lorraine was there at the very beginning, working with a small team when the charity was founded. So we've been watching them throughout to see them grow. We also advise clients on selling. For example, We Buy Any Car, which is one of the go-to places for many people. Well, it was BCA, the company I worked for, that purchased that company back in 2012. So I'm fully conversant with how they operate, how they value cars, and I'm always there to try and advise and help people the most appropriate way to sell their car. Despite COVID, we were able to assist many customers in our first year, all through recommendation. And there's a selection of some of them, and you'll even see in there somewhere, no you won't because he's not there, but Mr. Silverstone has been one of our recent clients. So I'd now like to show you a quick video, which I hope sums up what we do. Hello, this is Ashley from Emotive. How can I help? Hello, how are you? So it's 3 o'clock in the morning. We have 239 miles to go. We're going up to Darlington to pick up a car for one of our customers, a lovely little Corsa. So enjoy the trip. It's going to be a long one and it's very dark out there. So we're now halfway on our journey to Darlington. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. We've done 115 miles, we've got another 113 to go. Emotive Car Sourcing, going the extra miles for our customers. Are you happy with that, Michaela?
I'm very happy with that.
Thank you very much. So we do not advertise. We rely on all recommendations. So please help us wherever you can. We look forward to helping you all in the future, and thank you for listening.